Goodluck Jonathan is the former president of Nigeria. He recently lost an election against his rival, General Muhammadu Buhari. Jonathan failed to quell Boko Haram, the Muslim extremist group, and has faced many other issues, including a financial scandal during his 5-year tenure as the most powerful man in Nigeria, the most populous country in Africa.
Nigeria is diverse in its ethnicities, religion, and culture. They deal with major violence on a day-to-day basis due to these divides. With the rise of the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, Nigeria's deep-seated domestic problems have turned foreign. Jonathan proved incapable of dealing with these threats in a timely manner. A rogue necromancer has recently sprung to life, the formerly deceased Niccolo Machiavelli. Machiavelli has made it his personal goal to advise Goodluck Jonathan on the issues facing his country.
Goodluck Jonathan? The former president of Nigeria, I assume?
Yes, I am Goodluck Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria.
You look worse than I did when the Medicis came back into power.
What are you talking about? Who are you?
Why, I am the spirit of Niccolo Machiavelli, one of the greatest political scientists of all time. I think that you could use some advice, and I am just the man to help you gain some insight on the error of your ways.
And what exactly are my errors?
Let's start with the elephant in the room, Boko Haram. You already know all about Boko Haram and who they are. They've gotten a whole lot worse during your presidency. One of your main issues is your reliance on foreign armies in dealing with this terrorist group.
How is it wrong to ask for assistance? Everyone else hates ISIS. I hate ISIS. It's a friendship made in heaven.
I'm going to try to keep this simple. In short, the arms of others either slip off your back or weigh you down or tie you up.
So, you are trying to say U.S. assistance weighs me down? How is that when they could easily deal with Boko Haram?
You see, if they lose, you are undone. If they win, you remain their prisoner. They've lost before against similar enemies in similar environments, so what makes you think this will be any different?
But America is the greatest military power in the world. They could easily defeat Boko Haram.
A prince must never ally himself with one more powerful than himself in order to attack someone else unless necessity compels it, as was said above, for if he wins, you remain his prisoner. I mean, let's say they do defeat the insurgents. Knowing the U.S., they would most likely maintain a presence in your country and dictate your actions, and princes must avoid as much as possible being at the discretion of others. Do you want to become America's puppet? Is that why you want good luck?
Certainly not. I understand your wisdom on these matters at last. Is that all you need to advise me on?
Not quite, my African friend. I would now like to enlighten you on why you lost the recent election.
The people of this country just can't recognize a good ruler. That's why. What could I have done wrong? What earned me the hate of the people that I so diligently served for 5 years?
Let me start with one of my beliefs. A prince, therefore, must have no other object or thought or take up anything as his profession except war and its rules and discipline, for that is the only art that befits one who commands. You, however, have never taken up war as your profession. This is why you were unable to deal with ISIS and why the people elected Buhari, because he does have military experience, and in their minds, even in my own, he could be more effectively deal with the insurgents.
I never realized being knowledgeable of the military was such a big deal. I guess I shouldn't have gone to college for zoology then.
Oh mio Dio, you studied zoology?
It can't be that bad though. I go out, I study the lay of the land every day. Isn't it a good thing to go out and see the land my people live in? And that the soldiers of this country will be fighting in?
Oh, certainly. A leader from antiquity once took walks in the countryside with his friends. He did this for the express purpose of theorizing how he'd lead troops on each type of terrain, and for developing strategies around the terrain. Purely theoretical, of course. Did you ever do anything like this?
No.
Well, there you have it. You are simply not a military man, and that was part of your downfall. I would now like to turn my attention to your attempts to eliminate your country's fuel subsidies. A very noble effort, being your country is almost entirely dependent on crude oils. But you must remember that men are sadly wicked, and this can be said of men in general, that they are ungrateful, fickle, hypocrites, and dissemblers, avoiders of dangers, and greedy for gain. Although you knew that these steps must be taken to help free your country from being a slave to oil, the people are only worried for their own welfare. Once many lost their jobs as a result of your attempts, they were enraged. You must note that hatred is acquired as much by good deeds as by evil ones.
But I eventually reinstated the subsidies. I tried to give the people everything. Their welfare was my primary concern. They should have voted for me.
Well, you see, he who builds on the people builds on mud. Your foundation on them was strong enough. Was strong, though. Your passing of the Same-Sex Marriage Act, which might have well as been a law since homosexuality was all but forbidden, certainly helped your approval amongst the people.
Yes, well, thank you for that, Machiavelli. Is there any other wisdom you would like to depart on me?
I'm afraid not, my dear Goodluck. You were a decent ruler, but you cannot blame yourself entirely for the mishaps of your regime. It is unfortunate Boko Haram decided to start their reign of terror during your presidency. Remember that fortune is the arbiter of half our actions, but before you think too highly of yourself and that you were simply unlucky, remember, she still leaves the other half of them, more or less, to be governed by us. So until next time, good luck, Jonathan.